So this morning I'm going to be chatting to Penny Sophocleous of Corporate Alchemy in one of our Meet a Member videos. Penny has been a member of the Business Network South Herts for 6 years, actually, since February 2015. So it's going back a long way. So Penny, do you want to start by telling us a little bit about your business and the changes you had to make due to the pandemic?
Thanks very much, Sharon. It's been a pleasure always being a member of the group. I've always found everyone really supportive and helpful, and you've been a great host.
Oh, thank you. That's lovely to hear. It's been great having you as a member as well. So
thanks. So what Corporate Alchemy does is we are a learning and development organisation, and we work with a very large number of different businesses, working with senior managers and leaders, helping them grow themselves, their teams and their business. So we do that through a variety of different programs, whether it's training and development in sort of management leadership skills, or it's executive coaching for the leaders themselves on a one-to-one basis. We've been, we've been very successful helping them grow themselves and their confidence so they can lead their businesses more successfully. We've also done quite a lot of work with professional services firms. So we have a lot of law firms and accounting firms who are our clients, and there we work with partners who prefer the kind of one-to-one engagement so we can help them address their specific development needs.
Right.
Now, how we've changed, I think the COVID-19 pandemic really changed our business a lot, or we had to felt we had to change a lot because we couldn't go out and deliver our programs. We found all of our, or most of our clients said, actually, well, we've got to stop the training programs right now. We've got to stop our coaching programs because we need to focus on making a COVID-free environment, supporting our staff, working from home. We've all got to learn very, very different ways of working. So it was quite a dramatic kind of stop on everything. And after about a month or two, I found that I had to do what most everyone else was talking about, which is to pivot. Funny word, but really it was around thinking, who was there that really could benefit from our services today, and who would be available to take our services and could benefit from them. And what I found was that largely it was very small businesses, perhaps businesses that were turning over less than £1 million, that were mostly affected in a similar way to the way that I was, and needed help to reset their business, really, onto online, reset their own thinking, how they thought about what they were doing or not doing, and actually ensuring that they could make their business work in a situation where they were at home, or their staff were at home, and their clients were at home. So I devised a 3-month mentoring program. You were on our first one, as you know, and then that was very successful. And I then did a second one for another cohort of 10 people. So both of them were very successful, and it meant that I felt that we could contribute to the situation, perhaps the slightly different sectors, smaller type businesses, but actually it was really good to feel that we could contribute and it was beneficial to them because I got some great reviews from them.
Absolutely. And so it was great that you could actually use your skill set and, take that out, as you say, to a different group of people, to smaller businesses. And
Indeed.
And yes, I mean, I was lucky to be part of that first cohort, and I gained enormously from it, as you know. It helped me focus on my business. It helped me think about things in a different way, and you challenged me, and that's a good thing. It's amazing that you make assumptions sometimes and you don't even realize that you're making them until somebody steps in and says that to you.
Yeah.
So I got value out of it in that way. I also found that it was a really good, it was a safe place to bounce ideas off people and share ideas. And, you know, it was a very non-judgmental environment. And it's good to be able to do that with a group of people who understand, not just you, I think, but the other participants. And that's the value, I think, of being in a group. And so I got a lot out of it, and as you know, I made some changes to my business as a direct result of it. So
yeah, well, that was the object, wasn't it? That's the purpose of the program, was to help people really make those changes, and so that they could move their business forward, and everyone did. I think what's really important in what you said, Sharon, is that you know, obviously my coach training means I don't carry judgments, and the whole point of when I work with everyone, you know, I'm their primary supporter. So I'm holding a space for their success, you know, every time I'm working with someone. And so what I tried to do with everyone else was set up that kind of environment. And I specifically remember I said to everyone that we need to see it almost like a mastermind group, where everyone was there not just to benefit themselves, but to also benefit everyone else. And that meant that they could then, you know, support each other, challenge, give ideas, contribute. So it was a very a very constructive environment that we created, and the same for the second cohort actually. And in fact, it ended up that people were actually doing business with each other.
Oh, well, that's brilliant.
So it's even better.
Even better, yes. I mean, that's a real bonus if that happens. So,
yes, so that did,
yeah. So moving on to the business network, having been a member for, as I say, around 6 years, what do you think you've gained from being a member of the group?
Well, I mean, you know, primarily I've gained a lot of social contacts, because it's not just a business. You know, when we interact, you know, there's a lot of sort of social interactivity. I've made friends with some people, which has been great. There's people that I know that I always feel, you know, there to support me, and I'm there to support them. So they call me, I call them. You know, we have chats about what's going on and about the business. There's informal help that they give me, and informal help I give them. And then in addition to that, I've also had some clients. Yay, thank God for that. So consistently, you know, my membership fees are covered by work that comes to me from people in the network group. So that's a great benefit. And then the other thing I think that's really important is I get suppliers. So I've had 2 different VAs, virtual assistants, who've helped me. I've had people who've done my marketing, email marketing. Jules, as you know, has been very helpful to me. I think I've got some people who, in fact, I'm lining up to help my business partner get a new computer. So there's people that I can give work to as well. So that feels that there's a very good give and take in the group.
And that's really interesting and you know, encouraging to hear, because as you say, it's not just about doing business. I think the primary aim of people when they go to networking groups is to do business, but there is so much more to it than that. So as you say, looking for suppliers, you know, once you've got to know, like, and trust people, and you feel you can go to them, and the social side as well is, and I think that's what makes it such a lovely group to be part of, because people have developed those social relationships. And I always say to visitors, but you know, if somebody's considering coming, I say it is a business group. It's a very business focused, and it is professional, but at the same time there is very much a social feel to it. And I think, and that's what a lot of people like and pick up on. So to hear you kind of endorsing that is a really lovely thing to know. And then I was going to ask you as well, how do you feel that you have given back, that you have contributed to the group and supported other members?
Well, you know, I think that's also a great benefit of the group, really, because you do feel, because you get a lot from it, that you also want to contribute. And I think I really value several things in it. One is I value the opportunity at least once a year to do a seminar, well, actually in our online world now, it's more like a webinar.
Right.
So, you know, I'm able to, you know, help people with, you know, a workshop on something or another of the many things that I do. So I've done a talent dynamics workshop. I've done some things around mentoring. And
you did a brilliant live coaching session, if you remember.
Yes,
that was probably a couple of years ago, which was really, it was a powerful way for you to show how you can work, but it was amazing to see somebody actually in the seat benefiting.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a bit of a shock, you know, to people. They would sit down for 10 minutes and I would coach them for 10 minutes, and it was like, what just happened? It was
amazing. It was amazing.
Really did actually help them, actually, didn't I?
Yeah.
We'll have to, maybe we could do one this year.
I would love to do one. I think that might be better face to face. So I don't know.
No, don't worry. The magic can still turn up online.
Let's give it a go then. I think that would be great.
So that's been really great. And the other thing that I really enjoy about the group is your drop-in sessions. I know that you've always had them, but having them online has meant that you literally could drop in, and being able to drop in, you know, sometimes the conversations are very social, sometimes they're really business focused, and I feel as if I can support and contribute to people just in a very informal way, by giving them the benefit of my experience and some mindset views and things that I carry that can help people in different circumstances. So I've enjoyed those.
That's really good to hear, because the drop-in sessions, they have only been introduced since we've been online, actually.
Okay, right.
But it's something that I will definitely carry forward, even when we do get back to holding live events. I will continue to run one drop-in session a month, and I'll continue to do that virtually. So, and I think that's probably the way a lot of things will go forward, is that there'll be a blend of live and virtual events, because
I think that's right.
You know,
yes.
And I think that will be a really positive thing that's come out of all of this when we do actually come out of it. So that's no, I must say I always come away from the drop-in sessions feeling really energized as well, and it's lovely to have a group that come together, in a smaller group that come together like that once a month. And finally, finally, I was just going to ask you a little bit about you. What do you do behind the scenes when you're not working? How do you relax, and how do you enjoy?
Oh gosh, I didn't prepare for this one. This is one question I didn't prepare. I suppose I'm a great fan of beauty and art and nature, actually. So in the old times when I could actually get around, I would love to go to National Trust properties.
Oh, that's a lovely thing to do.
And I love the gardens often there, and the the nature of being out there, but I also love the amazing art collections and the furniture and all the things that people have made in the years with great creativity and great artistry. So that's one of the things I really love to do. That's been substituted by watching movies at the moment.
Well, I think that's the same with everyone, isn't it? That what's the best series on Netflix and the best movie we can all watch. But but well, hopefully as lockdown eases, that maybe visiting some of these gardens will be one of the first things that we can do, actually, because we were able to do that last summer, even when things were, we had a lot of other restrictions, and I think it does a lot of people a lot of good to get out into nature and enjoy all of that.
Indeed. Another thing, actually, I just remembered I love to do, which is I did a course on the Silver method last year, and I found it really incredible. So because it's gone online, the Silver method, it's a method to increase your intuition. And it's also a methodology to control your mind and your mindsets. And there's a lovely group of people that I meet with now every week online. Again, online, it's really been helpful. And I work with them, and we do kind of meditations, and we do actually mental healing.
Right.
So that's been very interesting to do that.
And it's really useful in these times, I would imagine, as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's lovely. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, a pleasure.
Penny. And I look forward to seeing you at the next Business Network event in a couple of weeks' time. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.